Yo, what up? It's Aaron motherfucking Moses, and this video is about how to have a motherfucking warrant. See, I'm making this video because I made that last video about not giving a fuck about people's feelings and shit like that. A lot of people received that video very negatively. A lot of people didn't understand what I meant. A lot of people, they want to be. I'm not even going to speak on that. But the whole thing about it is, there's a lot of people out here that still indulge in criminal activity that watch my channel. I mean, if you know me, if you're not a newcomer, you know what my channel was originally about. You know? But I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks, some very good advice, some do's, some don'ts, and I'm not going to break it down too deeply, but I got a hell of a list, about that. So, first of all, disclaimer, I'm not telling you to run from the law. If you have a motherfucking warrant and you don't have to do that much time, nigga, turn yourself in. But if you bond it out and you can run and maybe not catch that charge and not have that on your record, I'm still not advising you to do anything that's against the law, that's contrary, to the motherfucking law. All right, but I will give you tips how to avoid being arrested, apprehended, and everything that you need to, pretty much everything that you need to know. Not everything, because when this video ends, I'm going to be like, damn, I forgot to say that. I forgot to say this. But I'm going to give you a lot of good information that you're going to be able to work with. All right. And again, I mean, this is not towards any race or gender, but of course, I am a black man, so I can only speak from a black man's perspective. If you're a woman or if you're a white dude or you're a Mexican or anything like that, a lot of these tips might not work for you. If you're not in my age range, a lot of these tips may or may not work for you. But let's go with it. Let's go in with it. All right. So the first thing I want to say, bro, no parties, no driving, no walking around at night. It's very simple. And of course, no, you cannot have your motherfucking ID on you. And of course, I'm going to tell you, it's in your best interest. If you have a warrant, don't get a fake ID. Why would you want to break the law, trying to break the law? Two wrongs don't make a right. Alright? So, no driving, no parties, and no walking around at night. And if you don't know why you shouldn't be doing these things, go ahead and turn yourself in, bro. I don't really want to break that down. So next, I mean, you have to be very selective on who you tell that you have a warrant. All right. So I've had about probably 10 warrants. Okay, not at one time. I've had at most probably like 4 warrants at one time, but I've had warrants out for my arrest 3 separate times, maybe 4 or 5, okay? But in total, I've known about 3 of them, okay? 3 separate occasions. I think I only told 2 people out of those 10 warrants that I've had warrants twice, okay? So, no fake IDs, no parties. I know a lot of niggas that consider themselves gangsters and they think they're living on the edge and they're driving around with a warrant like me. I'm not, what I'm referencing this from is when I was young. When I was 19, stupid, didn't know what the fuck I was doing with my life. I'm gonna be 30 in fucking like 4 or 5 years. So it's not like I'm still doing this shit. I'm not still on this shit. I'm not still doing what I was doing. So I'm good. But at that time, I was riding dirty, triple threat. Like I was DUI with a warrant, with fucking an ounce of weed in the car, with other motherfuckers that had warrants, that's felonies that my probation said I couldn't be riding around. Shit like that, bro. I'm not doing that shit no more, bro. I haven't, no. But just those 5 things off top. Simple. Basic math, alright? So next, get into the deep shit. You need to have knowledge of self. I was going to save this for the very in because it's kind of deep. But if you're gonna have a warrant and you plan on running, you need to be meditating. Why do you need to be meditating? Because if anything, if you have PTSD with seeing police or seeing or hearing the sirens or seeing the lights, your breathing's gonna change, your heart rate's gonna change. You even might not even be able to watch cops or all the motherfucking jail programs they have on TV. Okay, it's gonna affect your body differently. But as far as you meditating, the brain is the home of the senses. All right, you can tell, you can feel when somebody's looking at you, which there's only one sense, the sense of touch, smell, taste, hearing. All of that is really broken down to touch. All right. Why is this important? Because you need to be able to sense when somebody's looking at you, and you need to be able to sense, and you can, if you really think about it, if you meditate, you can feel all the electricity and all the signals, all of the Wi-Fi and all the computer equipment and all of that shit coming from a cop car. If you meditate, a cop car and a cop, the combination of a police car or a squad car, the combination of all of the technology and metal coming from a fucking cop car, plus a police officer looking at you, is going to feel fucking different from a regular driver looking at you. So you need to be able to sense the police. I'm gonna give you an example and maybe an exercise that will test where you are. I want you to take a shower with the lights off and see if you can feel that water apart from your skin and what you can smell from that water. I want you to turn all the lights off and pour yourself a glass of water at night. You need to be able to feel how full or empty that cup is when you're pouring that water. You need to be able to sense where these motherfucking polices are, bro. Just like my mom told me. One of your responsibilities as a passenger in a car is to scope for the police. When you have a warrant, your main responsibility is for you to scope for the police. So you cannot be out here naked. When I say naked, like a lot of people say naked, they mean walking around with no gun, walking around with no knife. You need to be scoping constantly. Maybe not obviously, but constantly. Alright? So now that we got past that deep ass shit, if you're gonna have a warrant, my best advice to you, number one, is to have money, and I'm gonna get back to that. But run, bro. If it's serious, if it's something where you're gonna beat the statute of limitations, or your motherfucking ass just doesn't have enough money to go to jail or prison right now, run. And just like shout out to Sinful the P, he was making a video on Take K. Bro, if you live in Texas, don't go to Oklahoma, don't go to Louisiana. If you live in Illinois, don't go to Wisconsin, don't go to motherfucking Minnesota, don't go to Ohio, don't go to Iowa, don't go to Indiana. Run across the whole motherfucking country, bro. If you have a warrant in Washington State, go to Florida. If you have a warrant in New York City, nigga, go to South California. And why I didn't say Arizona, I'm gonna talk about that too. Alright? But don't stay in those neighboring states. Alright? So what's next? The location of where you're going to reside. While you have these legal situations going on. I'm gonna stop saying that W word. I'm just gonna say legal situations as much as I can remember. Go where you're comfortable. Why do I say this? Because when I had a warrant in Illinois, my black ass took my black ass to Arizona. The thing about Arizona was I knew the location of Arizona, but I didn't realize that people would be so why would you want to live in the middle of the desert where it gets 112 degrees, 120 degrees? Why would you want to live there? So I knew, hey, this is in the middle of the desert. Let me go for this motherfucker. That's in the middle. I didn't realize that people would live somewhere that gets 100 degrees at night. At 9 o'clock, at 12 o'clock in the morning, will be in the triple digits. I didn't know a place like that existed in America because I thought we were more civilized than that. I thought, but I was sadly mistaken. Okay? But if you go somewhere that's uncomfortable for you, you're going to put out certain vibrations to the universe that is going to attract more uncomfortable situations to you, such as the police. All right? So, if you're from the suburbs, I'd advise you to go to the suburbs because you know how to operate there. If you're from the hood, go to the hood because you know how to operate there. Okay? Just like fucking Ice Cube said, every hood's the same. You're not gonna go wrong. If you're from Chirac, you can function in a fucked up ass, impoverished ass place in Brazil somewhere. And hopefully you don't have a warrant that motherfucking bad. But it's possible. If you're from the east side of Detroit, or I don't know the worst parts of Detroit, but if you're from Bed-Stuy, if you're from Brownsville, you can function anywhere. You can function in South Central. You can function in Little Haiti somewhere. And if you have a warrant, you're going to know innately how to blend in, how to act, how to dress. So a lot of these things that I'm going to say next is not going to apply to you because you already know. All right? So next, this is, a lot of motherfuckers won't tell you this. All right? Because when I was 19, I had a couple warrants and I was a little fucking love bug ass nigga. I didn't want to fucking, why I got this warrant, I had a court date and I didn't show up. And because my fucking friend, and I could have got probation. I did get probation at the end of the day because the nigga had some cheese. But I didn't want to go to my court date because I wanted to go to some girl's court date that I was in love with, and we were both gonna have a year. I was like, no, you're gonna be in there for a year. I'm gonna be in there for a year. We're gonna get out the same time. And we got our court. My court date was 2 days after her. I think my court date was either a day or the same day as hers. That's what's so fucked up about it. I threw a piece of my life away, and I don't even remember what the fuck I did this shit for. I know why I did it, but I don't even remember the days. So I didn't go to court because I was trying to be there for her, and fucking I was, had a lot of emotions at that time because I was a young bull. So, but if you have a warrant, what will really help you, if you want to walk around, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more, have a dog. Okay, if you have a dog, that is a specific type of uniform. Police, a lot of the times, they don't want to shoot a dog. There's no such thing as a cool police officer or a good cop because they don't need to exist because that's why they have PTSD and they kill themselves and have alcoholism and they rape because PTSD fucks up your brain and it makes you do things out of your character you never thought you would do. And being a police officer will certainly give you PTSD. Whatever the case is, a lot of police, the ones that don't want to kill anybody, will not fuck with you if you have a dog because they don't want to kill a dog and because they view you as somebody that's responsible. This nigga's walking his dog. He's less blah, blah, blah. Subconsciously, they're thinking he's less... it's less likely that this nigga's gonna be some kind of threat. Unless you have a huge ass fucking dog. Unless you have a fucking Bullmastiff or some shit. If they see you walking, especially a small dog, if they see you walking a dog, that's a uniform. That's a uniform of responsibility. Okay, they're not gonna fuck with you as much. Alright? And if you have a service dog, and if you have a dog, you can go DM me and I will give you the site because I don't remember the site off the top of the dome. But you can get a service dog vest, which I have for Gaia somewhere around here. And legally, depending on what state you are, mind you, I said that, if a canine unit pulls up on you, they legally cannot interact with you. because they see that dog is a service dog. You could have 5 kilos of pure cocaine in a backpack, walking this service dog with a vest on, and their fucking canine unit can be going crazy, and they still cannot come within, I think it's 5 feet of you legally. But check the law in your state. It's a lot of things that goes on with that. This dog could have just got done mating. This dog could be shedding. That's a loophole that you need to research on your own time, okay? But if you have a serious warrant, get a dog and get that service dog vest. It's like $50, bro. You don't have to have a test. You don't have to be certified. You don't need to show any medical reasons, medical papers that show why you need a dog. You can literally pay your $50 and get the fucking service dog, type your name in, type the name of the dog in, send them a little picture that makes your dog look cute as fuck, and slide that shit in a little pocket, because it has a little pocket for a picture, like a profile picture on Facebook, in the vest, and a canine, and a normal cop a lot of the times, because they handle canine unit dogs. They cannot fuck with you, all right? And plus, a lot of police are not, I'm not going to say they're good or they're cool, but they're not sociopaths, or they're not total sociopaths. They're not total psychopaths, so they're not going to approach you. Message! So next, I mean, if you have some kind of stuff going on and you have a kid, some legal stuff going on, take your kid with you. Now, this is tricky because if you're doing some foul shit or some dumb shit, or you jaywalk, or you do something where you end up getting caught up, then you might lose your baby to CPS and somebody has to pick them up or some shit like that. But if you bring your baby with you, a police officer is much less likely to fuck with you. It might be your nephew, it might be your whoever the fuck. Somebody's baby. It's facts. Snap of facts. So, next, if you live somewhere, let's say if you have a warrant in, say, Arizona, and you run to New York or Chicago, a police officer is much less likely to fuck with you if it's a blizzard or if it's just cold as shit outside. If it's below fucking 30 degrees, much less likely. Especially, now, if it's hella snow outside, if it's like let's say if it was a blizzard earlier that day, the police might be preoccupied with, scraping dead bodies or organizing traffic so motherfuckers won't hit other people on the highway, or matters of that kind. So there might be less police activity during certain seasons, and it might just be cold as fuck, and they don't want to fuck with you. They're like, I know this nigga has it. He looked sketchy. He looked me right in the eye. He stared at me. Then he looked away. Then he looked at me. He keeps looking at me. But it's just too motherfucking cold, bro. It's just too motherfucking cold, bro. You can use that, bro. I mean, if it's raining, but if it's raining like dumb hard, like tornado season raining, they're not gonna fuck with you either. If it's hot, a police officer will still fuck with you. If it's super hot, a police officer will still fuck with you, because you can breathe yourself. If you think cool, you are cool, and that's what they train these bitches for. So next, when it's a full moon, don't go outside if you have legal issues going on. Okay, why? That's where the term lunatics comes from, because two things happen in sociology. Two things happen to people when there's a full moon. Number one, people spend more money during a full moon. Number two, people commit more crimes during a full moon. Don't go outside during a full moon. You can go on a site called Lunarium, LUNARIUM.com, Lunarium.com, or you can go to a site called PlanetWatchers.com, and those will give you the most accurate lunar calendars, okay, out of all of them. out of all, or you can go to a site called Dr. Stadley. It's like Stanley, but instead of an N, it's D. And just go to Lunarium or Planet Watchers, but watch that moon, bro. Watch that moon, AaroniMoses. Do the research, bro. Do it. All right. So next, if you're gonna run, and a lot of people don't have a choice as far as where they're gonna land, but if you're gonna run, I would say if you're gonna go to a place that has, actually, I made a couple notes about that. But if you're gonna run, you should go to places like Chicago. I put Chicago, Atlanta, and New York. Why? Because in Atlanta, if you're from Atlanta, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Atlanta police are really preoccupied with the people that are doing big ass shit. The drug lords. The people who have, I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Training Day. But the people who have like 10 pounds of weed and like 50 kilos, they want the drug lords. So if they see you walking down the street and their drug dog might be acting all crazy, doing spins in the back seat, they're like, this nigga only has probably an 8. I'm not fucking with this nigga. Chicago, they really only want to fuck with you if they think you have a gun or they think you are a snitch and you know somebody that's super big. So if you don't look like you're on shit as far as big fish, they're not gonna fuck with you. Chicago PD will even go so far as not fucking with you as long as you're not in a car. Not a nice car. As long as you're not in a car, as long as you are walking down the street, they will not fuck with you in a lot of places because they want to pull motherfuckers over. Because I think it's one out of every 6 people in America are driving around with no license. So that's easier than stopping somebody walking down the street that's not doing shit. And shit, the motherfucker might even know the motherfucking law and prohibit you and hinder you from searching them. So they're not gonna fuck with you if you're on foot. Of course, you're not supposed to be in a car, around a car. Don't in the state of Illinois, if you have car keys in your pocket and you're within 10 feet of a car, you can be searched. You can get a DUI if you're within 10 feet of a car and you have car keys in your pockets in the state of Illinois. If you're drunk or you're high or some shit. All right. Message. Learn that, bro. Know these motherfucking laws. And that's another part I have, bro. Know the law. All right. So, what we got next? Go comfortable where you are. If you have let's say you're from, I'm not going to keep staying in that state. Let's say you're from Southern California, right? Say you're from LA and you go to New York. When you settle there, you're going to be there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Don't go too far from where you are if you're not comfortable with that, or if you cannot find your way home, or you don't have enough money to call an Uber or a Lyft or some shit like fuck Uber, or if you can't get a Lyft or a cab or take the train. If you're a real savage or if you're a real drug dealer or some shit like that, I advise you to follow all of these motherfucking tips. But don't go anywhere where you're unfamiliar, where you're uncomfortable, too far from the crib. I would even say 5 miles from the crib. If you don't have an ID and you're not dirty, you can walk 5 miles, my nigga. It's going to take you like an hour, but don't go too far. Somewhere where you can't remember landmark to landmark, like, oh, that was the big tree with the little thing on it, and that was by the big ass chicken, and that's going to take me to here, and that's Peachtree Street, and that's gonna take me, okay, alright, and then I can get on the MARTA right there. Don't go places where you cannot get back by yourself. Because if something happens, a car accident, and you hop out the whip and you run, like 3-4 blocks, and you're like, where the fuck am I at? There's some projects right here. It's a big ass field. It's a train station. I could see in the distance like 2 miles. It's a motherfucking blah 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 right there. No, fuck that. And another tip, I didn't make this note. I just remembered this. But if you're gonna ride in a car, which I already told you not to do, if you're gonna ride in a car, or I already told you not to do this, but if you're gonna ride in a car, know the fucking route. Why do I say that? Because because it was a time that I was riding around. I'm not gonna say the person's name, but the person, if they watch this shit, they're gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. We were riding around, and we drove, and I had a warrant at the time, of course. We drove by a police station, and it was a red light, and I was so paranoid. My heart was beating like a motherfucker. I was like, "But you didn't know it was a motherfucking police station, man? I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry, AaroniMoses." I'm like, oh god, bro. Oh my god, there's police riding up and down this motherfucking street. I was like, bro, pull in this motherfucking complex, bro, because look, find the nearest fucking highway. This shit is too hot, my nigga. Why did you take this route? I didn't know there was a police station right here, bro. You know I'm hot, bro. Why would you drive past a police station and you know I'm hot? And you know I'm hot. Why would you do that? Don't drive past Dunkin' Donuts, police stations. None of the places that police would typically hang out, especially a motherfucking police station. I just wanted to put that in there for you guys. But next, you're gonna go somewhere that you're comfortable. Like I already said, go somewhere that you're comfortable. Run in a place that you're comfortable. But when you get there, if it's somewhere where you're not comfortable or somewhere where you, okay, this is not really for the hood dudes, but let's say you go to a suburb. Let's say you're pretty. Let's say you're sexy like me. Let's say you still look kind of young like me. You want to dress in a way that is going to be, that's going to make you blend in. Okay? Whether you are in downtown fucking Chicago or you're in Midtown in Atlanta or Buckhead somewhere, wear you a suit, bro. There's places where you can get $20, $50 suits, bro. Where you can get 20, 50, you can go to Marshall's, get you some polos and some khakis and a fake name tag. Okay, you can do that, bro. You can do that, bro. When I was doing whatever I was fucking doing, I chose to dress like, honestly, how I dress right now. And this is how I was stuck. And I'm a rapper, and a YouTuber. And before I was on my hot boy shit, so I was wearing all black every day. All black every day. Black. I was wearing black thermals in the motherfucking middle, the hottest part of the summer when my sleeves rolled up. Black Dickies, black Chucks, black bandana with a black A-Town hat on, because I listened to a lot of 50 back then. But I was on my how to rob shit, bro. I was on my drug dealing shit. I want to look like the guy who you need to talk to if you need something done or you need something done to you, drug-wise. But when I kept moving around, when I moved to Arizona, I started dressing like this. Not like this, but I tried to blend in. So, if you're gonna fucking go to the suburbs and you can still pull it off and you look young, even if you look young from a distance, I might even bring you some props, bro. You have to be an actor. You have to speak differently. You have to carry yourself differently. You have to motherfucking come off. If you can still look like a teenager from a distance, if you're under the height of 6 feet, if you're under the height of 6 feet, and even when you fucking hop over puddles and you make that little skip, like, oh, he still has a little innocence in his body. Oh my God, he's a teenager. Do that, bro. Do it. You want your freedom, or you want fucking people to think you're a grown ass man at the time from a distance. Alright? So, I like skateboarding and I fucking like dressing like this now. If you know me in 2012, I'm a whole different character as far as how I present myself. But it has to be done, man, and another thing, if you're going to do that, if that's the direction you're going to go to, you need to have a motherfucking backpack. A backpack. And let's say you go to the store a lot, like every day. Let's say like you're an alcoholic and you're stressing because you have legal situations going on and you're going to go to the store a lot. Let's say that. Let's say you need to buy blunt wraps every motherfucking day. Or I don't fucking endorse blunt wraps, but let's say you need to go to the store every day. You want to go to that store during the hours that school is getting out. You don't want to be walking around and there's some places in the world, in the United States of America, where the liquor store opens at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like in Belmont Cragen, a lot of the liquor stores open early as fuck in Chicago. Early as shit. Okay? A lot of liquor stores open before 12 o'clock. You don't want to be going to the liquor store at 1 o'clock in the morning dressed like a teenager. You know why? Because the police will fuck with you. If they see you coming out of a fucking liquor store on a skateboard with your hat backwards, with your hair dyed like this, with you dressed like this. Because they will fuck with you. Okay? If you're gonna go anywhere, if you're gonna go to the store, you can go to a lot of people in Cook County. They don't sell alcohol in gas stations anywhere or corner stores. They only sell liquor in fucking liquor stores. But you don't want to go to the liquor store and buy blunts during school hours. Okay, go after the motherfuckers get out of school. Have your ass looking out the window like it's a rainy day, and when you see that first fucking yellow bus, then you can go to school. I think kids get out of school at like fucking 3:30 or some shit like that. When that happens, then you could walk around with your picnic table backpack on, or your fucking Transformers backpack on, dressed like a teenager, whatever these bitches wear now, and go to the fucking store, bro. But I'm telling you, I'm giving you facts, bro. I'm giving you good facts, my nigga. If you never smoked meth or crack cocaine, and you look like a kid from a distance, and you're not over the height of 6 foot, you'll be good, bro. I'm telling you. You might even fucking go so far as having a binder in your motherfucking hand. Alright? I'm telling you, bro. I'm trying to help you. I don't have to make this video for me. I'm trying to help you, nigga. They don't pay me this much for these motherfucking videos. I'm trying to help you. I'm a philanthropist. Feel me? But no fake IDs. Go to the store. Of course I'm gonna go more deep. You know, dress. If you don't want to dress like a teenager, you're too grown to dress like a teenager, or you might be, in another position where you don't want to do that. You might have a little pitch or something. Wear some polos, bro. Wear some suits. There's places online where you can get fucking $20, $10 suits, bro. I'm telling you. You can order. If you know, hey, bro, these niggas ain't gonna fucking. They gonna snatch me, bro. They gonna throw my ass under the jail, bro. Take $50 and order 3 suits. There's places online where you can get a full 2-piece, 3-piece suit for like fucking less than $50. You could go to Marshall's and get you some polos and some khakis, some outfits for less than $50 that'll make you look nice, respectable, reputable, look like you're going to church every day. You might even go so far as holding a Bible in, bro. You have to be an actor, okay? The word actor doesn't even really mean anything, okay? Actor just means a person with a strong